I hope that everyone has been having a wonderful time.
Also, well, definitely we're having a wonderful time here at the Speed Gaming Marathon for Northern Hungary and hello everybody. My name is Bill Senpai. I'm gonna be your host during the next round that we're having the night. And also we're gonna keep enjoying this amazing Ozmourn vlog with amazing runs. Now going with Lightmatter, any person know my glitches, so take it away.
Thank you, Go Senpai. Came in a bit early there, my bad. But yes, this is Lightmatter any percent NMG. The NMG, of course, stands for no major glitches. And this is the main category of this game. Another really good indie game that I play, and I highly recommend picking it up if you're into games like Portal, Superliminal, just the puzzle platforming genre as a whole, much like the first person in particular. And I hope that after seeing what I have for today, you can consider picking up the game yourself. So, with that being said, we do need to have the speedrun stats on for this particular game. Because we do time things in IGT. That being said, the timer on screen will be RTA, and we are going to be turning on developers commentary later for a particular trick that we need to do. But with that being said, we're just going to go straight into the game, and timing will begin when I hit level 1 right here. So 3, 2, 1, go. So, what is Lightmatter exactly? And I started it immediately when the level loads in. That's when timing starts, instead of like when you hit level 1. And so, what exactly is Lightmatter? So Lightmatter is a game in which your in which the shadows will kill you, is what I'm trying to say here. I can speak today. And the shadows will kill you. So any kind of stepping in the shadows, you're immediately gonna die. I'm probably gonna show off at least once what it looks like when you die in the shadows. So right here in level 1 and level 2, there's really no way for you to die. There's no death planes. There's barely any shadow that's visible, and in the shadows that are visible, there's no death plane like programmed into them, and so you can just walk across them as much as you like. There's really no way for you to die in these particular levels, primarily because it's just meant to introduce you to the movement and to the mechanics of just pressing buttons, moving forward, jumping. And right here in level 2, we get introduced to Virgil. It's our main antagonist. Virgil is the CEO of Lightmatter, and he fulfills the classic corrupt CEO trope. And right here, we're actually going to go through a little dialogue. He's kind of like our GLaDOS of the bunch, per se, and so we're just going to be listening to him throughout the run. He's our main villain, and we're going to be revealed about him a lot throughout the run. And right here, right after we trigger this door to close, I do like to go on top of this locker because there is a shadow here. But it just goes to show that this is supposed to be more of a tutorial section. The game is, not supposed to kill you here. It's just trying to introduce you to the basics. But right here, as the nature of glitchless and no major glitch runs, you majorly have to focus a lot on movement and focus a lot more on movement and just overall doing your best to rely on like skips instead of major glitches that you could use to skip a lot of the levels. And especially since a lot of the glitches in the glitch category is pretty difficult to perform, optimally at least. But right here, that's the end of the game. Don't worry about the 50-minute estimate. Don't worry about the fact that there's a death counter at the top right corner of the screen. Don't worry about any of that. This is actually the end of the game. We're going to go straight up to safety, and that's it. That's the whole game. Thank you so much to SpeedGaming for letting me show this off. GG's. We're about to end time here. That's around a 40. It's about a 40-minute world record. Or 40 minutes ahead of world record. But yeah, that's it. But of course, That can't be it. Because otherwise there'd be no game. We unfortunately did not get the 1 in a billion chance skip for you to just end the game right there. Yeah, maybe next time. You know, we have a hard time believing that skip even exists, so who knows. Right here, we're just gonna spam spacebar as we go immediately to the left in order to go straight to into level 3, and from here on out, any shadows that you touch will in fact kill you, like for real. And we're gonna get pretty introduced to that particular mechanic right up here, such as right, boom. You want to wait 3 seconds, and as those are flashing, you want to jump onto it, and you know, if you time it right, you get some pretty good movement out of there. Right here in level 4, we are introduced to our first skip in this run. And that particular skip is just going around here and moving this bridge right, left, and then right again. It has a bit of a delay whenever you change directions of the bridge, and you can use that delay to your advantage to actually get to the other side of the bottom bridge before the top bridge covers it in shadows and you end up dying, and you can just walk across and go back up to the top bridge and finish the level. Right here in level 5, there is a puzzle here, but like, why do the puzzle when you can just do this? You know, that's boom. You just end the level right then and there. Of course, you do. There is a really competitive IL for that. You know, world record is held, I think, still by me at like 18 point something. I forgot to jump there. Look at that. And I still need to press the button. Come on. Level 6 is a cycle-based level, but who knows if we're gonna get the fast cycle anymore. But it is also the first level that we get introduced to lamps. Lamps are heavy and clunky, and that actually shows throughout the gameplay because you can't jump with a lamp in your hand, and you also move more slowly with move slower with a lamp in your hand, and so you want to just make sure that you're just using the lamps as minimally as possible. But right here, we get introduced to level 7, which is another level with a glitch that we have decided to allow in this particular category. We didn't, you know, constitute it as like a major glitch, and so it's called lamp jump. And what we have to do is just take lamp jump, take this lamp, put it at the corner at the slanted surface of this vent, and then jump on it. I'm actually not pressing spacebar, just immediately when you jump on top of that. When you jump on top of a lamp while it's inserted into a slanted surface, for whatever reason, the physics properties of that lamp go all out of whack, and when you jump on it, you get like a huge boost of speed upwards, and so that just will allow you to get on top of those containers and skip a bit of the level, saving around what I remember to be around 10 or so seconds. Right here in level 8 is another really good example of just the nature of a no major glitches run, which is like a lot of really good movement. And this is a level that I really like to introduce. I really like to say that, like, if you are new to speedrunning or you're trying to go into a new speed game, this was the first speed game that I really like grinded and took seriously, and so you can definitely get into this. I think it's very beginner friendly. Obviously, there is a pretty high skill ceiling when it comes to the movement, and I definitely think that it does get more difficult as the game you get a higher skill level, as most speedruns would, but like as a beginning speedrun, I do think this is absolutely amazing. But with that being said, we're going to go straight into level 9, and there is a fast. This is a cycle-based level, and if we're fast, we can actually skip half of a cycle by shining that lamp over here and taking this lamp, shining it this way. Ooh, just barely getting enough of this light in order to walk across it after that mineral decomposer opens back up. But with that, we can just jump across and go to the end of the level, and right now we get introduced to level 10. Level 10 actually introduces us to the concept that you can leave lamps in the dark. The shadows will only kill organic material, meaning like human beings, plants, you. And so leaving a lamp in the dark will actually allow us to use the light that we had from it in this corner and then jump across and grab this lamp at the other side of this bridge. Or this moving platform, I should say. And right here, there's a little bit jab at a popular franchise. Oh! Oh dear. Where does that put me? Okay, I definitely zoned out there for a bit. Trying to let that particular reference play. But, you know, zoning out in this particular speedrun can be pretty detrimental, as we have seen there. But that's what it looks like when you die in the shadows. And any deaths during this cutscene doesn't matter because you can just keep dying and the cutscene will keep going no matter how many times you die. And so what I'm trying to do actually is you can like jump across this platform. I don't know what's going on. Why am I not getting this? This is just a cool thing they like to do during this cutscene, but I'm not really getting it so far. You can jump across. Why isn't the game letting me jump? Oh dear. I don't know what's going on here. I actually never had this. Okay, there we go. I've never had this happen before. I've never had so much difficulty just trying to show this cool thing off that doesn't really affect the run in any way. But why am I getting so much trouble right now? There we go. That's what I wanted to see. You can just go up to this particular area. The game, this is like a, oh dear. Okay, I wasted so much time doing that I lost a bit of time from when the door should have opened. But one thing that I have here in level 11 is another cycle-based level. What I meant to do in that last level is that there's a particular area after the bridge collapse you're not supposed to access that you can. But my goodness, the amount of times that I tried to fail just trying to show something cool off really off-put me. I never had so much trouble with that. But right here, we have a cycle-based level. You think there should be some kind of way to get like a faster cycle on this particular level, but there really isn't. But I had a weird phase in my speedrunning where I would just always like die to this level for some reason, because I would like mistime my jumps or just not end up like not jumping at all in certain cases, jumping too early or too late, and just dying to this level when you really shouldn't be dying to this level. There's no really way to speed this up or no real reason to go fast. But right here in level 12, once you get the checkpoint or the checkpoint that leads to level 12, you can actually just retry level, and that skips a particular elevator sequence because each level has a designated start and stop point as to where it will reset the player. And the start point is past that cutscene that would be playing. And right here we get introduced to rail grinding. And so if you move this platform across with the lamp facing towards you, you can actually grind across the rails, and as the light is shining on it. And that's a lot harder than it looks because the game is constantly trying to, it's not like a flat surface, and so the game is constantly trying to move you off either left or right, and so you have to balance yourself on it. And this is Ellen. Everyone say hi. Ellen is kind of the voice of reason behind Lightmatter, in the sense that she will just tell you everything that Lightmatter. Oh my God! I ate my input, or I must have pressed space too late there. But she's the voice of reason. She's going to uncover all of the secrets of Lightmatter technologies for us. And we're gonna see here every time that we're in this like pinkish areas of in and behind the main stages of Lightmatter. Right here, we're just gonna shine that light across. Take this light and shine it across forward right over there. And as you can see, there is a small line of shadow here that we can still walk across, and it'll be perfectly safe. There's a reason that works, and I will explain that reason later, when it is a bit more relevant to another trick that we want to do. Right here in level 14, there is another skip that we can perform. It is very cool to see done really optimized. But one thing that I like to do here is we're just going to put this lamp here. We're going to bring it across the other side, jump over here, press this button once as we come across. We're going to go balance on the edge of this platform right here. Boom. Okay, and then we're going to press the button, and you want to balance in that particular spot, because if you balance too far to the left, you're not going to be in range of pressing the button. But if you go too far to the right, when you press the button, you're going to be pushed off the platform, and you have to bring the platform all the way back to you in order to try to skip again. And doing that particular skip, where you stand in that particular spot and then get moved with the platform, will allow you to skip a few lamp placements, because you can immediately just take one lamp and place it at the beginning on the next blade of the fan, and where it needs to go. And here in level 15, we take advantage of the cone of light that the lamp produces in order to shine both sensors on the top and the bottom. And then we're going to shine that light across and finish up level 15.
Now, you're not supposed to be in that part of the facility, but never mind.
Level 16 is a really good level for movement, I think. And so right here, we're just going to go up, and we're going to shine a light on this sensor, walk back down here, and then we're going to shine a light on this sensor and walk backwards. And we kind of take advantage of the fact that the light that's coming from the lamp just kind of flicks forward in front of you. There's no real way for you to turn it, and so as soon as it flicks in front of us, we just jump across before the light beneath us disappears, and we can continue with the level, skipping a bit of puzzle solving. So right here is another example of us taking advantage of the full cone of light for a level, this time doing it in a particular way that's not really that intended. By taking the cone of light and shining both hallways right there, we're going to back it up just a little bit more for safety's sake. There we go. And then you want to make sure that when you are shining this lamp, you want to keep it shining onto that sensor. And of course, in this next section, level 18 and 19, we are going to be actually doing the same skip, but in like two very different ways. And so first, we're going to bring this lamp across the platform, have it shine onto this sensor, and then we're going to shine this sensor on the other side of the door, and then so we can grab this lamp, and then we're going to line this lamp up with these outlets on the wall right here and shine it in this direction. And that allows us to get a little bit of light on these tables, just enough so that we can walk across them and not get killed by the shadows. And we're actually going to do that exact same thing right here. We're going to shine this light in the corner onto these pipes. It gives us just barely enough light, and also the hardest jump in the game, in my opinion. And thankfully we did get it first try by timing it pretty well. And level 20 is another interesting level with the skip that we have. And at level 20, would you just shine the light on that sensor over there? And you can put the light right here, bring it up, bring it back right here, and as long as you're within range of a lamp, you can grab it. You don't necessarily have to be on the same like height plane as the lamp itself. So by taking advantage of that, we can grab the lamp at different on the elevator instead of going a bunch of back and forth by raising the elevator and then lowering it in order to get the lamp up to where we need to be. And this particular level also introduces the concept of strafing with the lamp, like I'm doing right now, and keeping it shined on the sensor. And believe it or not, a lot of casual players actually couldn't figure out that you needed to move with the lamp or like shine with the lamp. And so, casually speaking, it can actually be a pretty difficult level. But because especially when they were playtesting it, people just for some reason couldn't figure out that you had to strafe. And right here is a transitional level. It's like 21 to 22. There's not much to say about 21 other than it just works as a little bit of a hub that we're going to come back to later. But with that being said, we're just going to go straight from 21 to 22. And when we come back into this particular area, we are actually going to have a skip that we perform. And level 22 is the biggest level in the game, with the exception of the very last one. And it is a level that was actually built in a top-down perspective in Legos, in order to give the developers a bit of a wider picture as to how they want to design it. And essentially, in the bottom floor, there's two lamps that move back and forth onto these platforms, and you want to and that's how you solve this puzzle. That's like the resources of the game gives you. There's two platforms that walk back and forth. However, at the top, there are 4 platforms that go in a full rotation. And so they're similar puzzles, but they have 2 pretty different solutions that we're both going to be seeing here. Shining this light there, and then shining the light on that button here. Going across here, we're actually going to take this lamp off the oof, oh my god, I like nicked the corner of that particular, I nicked the corner of that shadow. Very unlucky, very unfortunate. However, as I was saying, you just shine this light over here, and we are going to take this lamp off of this platform, because we do want to use the, we're going to bring the platform with the second lamp that we had over here to us. And that's how you solve that puzzle. And so we're just going to bring this lamp over here, shine it across. You want to make sure there's enough space, because, you know, I have had it where you die because there's not enough space between the lights, or there's not enough, like, there's too much shadow in between the lights. And so that's a particular side that you want to be careful about. But yeah, we're just going to go up this elevator. You know, there's nothing that could go wrong here. It's going to be the end of the game, you know, right then and there. Except it's never the end of the game, because why would it be? Why would it be that simple? It just makes no sense. I need some coffee. Any coffee lovers in chat? There's so much coffee in this room. I always get bothered by it. My goodness. But we're just gonna wait for this cutscene to end right here. We're going to go back and down. Woo! All right, beautiful. So, oop, come on. Now we get introduced to Ellen again. She realizes that she's stuck in Arthur's office, and realizes what Arthur is planning versus what Virgil is planning, and how they're trying to sabotage each other. And here in this bottom section, we do get introduced to reintroduced to this bottom floor, and we actually have to solve it backwards in order to go back to the beginning of this section, and then we're going to go straight into level 23, which is the same map as level 21. However, in our revisits to this map, ooh, that's very close. In our revisit to this map, we are going to go straight into level 23. But if we're going to do a very interesting strat in which we actually go to our settings or our extra settings, and we turn on developer commentary. We're actually going to grab a piece of developer commentary right here, because there is actually a line that Virgil says there, and this door right here will not open unless Virgil finishes saying that line. However, that line gets cut off if you collect the developer's commentary, and since that line gets cut off, it can never finish, and so the developers decided to just put in a free 20-second skip for us to use. And right when we get into level 24, I do like to turn developer commentary back off, because I really like hearing David Bateson speak some of the commentary, especially in like a marathon setting. So right here we get introduced to photon connectors, or orbs on a stick if you're a GDQ fan in chat. Right here, these photon crystals will only produce light if they're within range of a mother source, and these mother sources are stationary, while you can just move these connectors anywhere in the level. You can actually, ooh, my goodness, I have never had that. I've never messed that up before. That is an interesting way to screw that up. I've never done that. But here we're just going to go onto here. And as we can see here, a photon crystal can connect to another photon crystal. As long as only one photon crystal is connected to the mother source, you can theoretically do an endless line of photon crystals all connected to one another. And right here, we're going to go up here. And as you can see, we can actually triangulate some of this light right here. And we're going to go straight here and end level 24. We're going to go straight into level 25.
Without the technology behind the connectors,
So
photon crystals would be no better than diamonds. Boring.
we're going to actually push the limits as to how much we can do with some of these photon crystals. By really, whenever you see that red light, that means that the connection between the photon crystal and the mother source is actually about to break. And if you keep going, you will die. So we're going to push the limits as to how far we can push these without dying. And in this level, we can use that to our advantage and skip a few lamp placements by pressing that button earlier. And then rail grinding across here so that we can go straight up to this bridge and end the level. And right here, we're just going to go straight into level 26. And level 26 has a very interesting skip, and particularly because it's another example of really pushing the limits as to how far you are going to take advantage of these photon crystals and the connections between them. So we're going to bring this particular photon crystal across it, and this is actually another example of a moving mother source, and we're going to put it at this corner right here. We're going to bring this photon crystal, we're going to push it against this fence so that it can actually connect to that mother source over there, and we're going to walk across this handrail. Well, wait, the handrail has shadows. Shouldn't it kill us? Well, in Lightmatter, there are particular points around the player's feet, and if the majority of those points are covered in shadow, then it will kill you. And for whatever reason, when you're rail grinding across that particular rail, the game actually just doesn't recognize that most of those pieces are like covered in shadow, and so it will just not kill you, which is very confusing because for the majority of the rails in this game, the game will kill you, but just for that one in particular, it doesn't. Level 27 just kind of feels like an auto walker, like it's not an auto scroller, but like at the same time, there's just, you know, the intent. It's one of those levels where you're just doing the intended way, but fast, you know, and so that is unfortunate for this level, but level 28 though, stay tuned for level 28. You know, that's a pretty interesting level because you do have a skip there and a particular reference to Portal again that we're gonna see, but right here we're just going to finish up level 27 by bringing this photon crystal over here. For some reason, I tend to actually screw up this particular section a bit every now and again because I must be putting the first photon crystal too far over to like a corner, because the connection between some of the photon crystals likes to be very thin and break every now and again. So right here, we're gonna go straight into another skip in level 28. First off, we're going to take this photon crystal and we're going to go put it at this corner right there. Boom. And then we're going to bring this photon crystal across and we're going to put it right here. It doesn't really matter where we put it, but we just want to make sure that that first photon crystal is as close to the corner as we possibly can make it. We're going to take this photon crystal and bring it across this bridge, and then the connection, we're just going to push the limits of this connection and then just jump across like that. So there's really no puzzle solving that needs to be said. And if you had a keen ear, you probably heard in your left headphone in the previous level that Still Alive from Portal was actually playing a little radio, and so again, if you like Portal, I recommend picking up this game, especially since it makes references to Portal. It canonically is in the same universe as Portal because it references Aperture Science as an in-game company. So, that being said, we're just going to go straight into level 29. Level 29 is really not interesting. We all don't really like level 29 because there's no way to speed it up. This is what I'm doing right now, is the intended solution, but fast. And so if you... we always say that if you want to speedrun this game and you find, oh my goodness, and with that being said, you still want to be careful sometimes because things like that can happen. But thankfully, it doesn't really matter because I had a brief auto. Oh my, what? Oh, okay. I thought that the thing that I was afraid. Okay, so in this level, sometimes when you put photon crystals down too close to each other, or in particular spots, you can't pick them back up for whatever reason. And I honestly thought for a second that that is what happened, and I had to restart the level over again in order for it to work. And I would have just been terrified out of my mind if that was the case, because that's just, you know, losing a lot of time to things that I can't control. But right here, again, if you want to speedrun this game and you manage to find a skip in no major glitches for level 29, we will love you to the end of the earth. You will automatically be the best runner of this game, because like there's just nothing that we can do to speed this up. But right here, we're just going to go straight into level 30.
Assistant. By now you must understand the significance of light.
And level 30 is a level that you really don't want your brain to go on autopilot for, because there's a lot of repeated patterns. For example, you want to press this button twice, and so you want to like spam. You're obviously like spam clicking in order to move the button, in order to press the button as fast as possible, because it moves the platform as fast as possible. So you're gonna put this lamp right here, and this is the part where it gets really you really don't want to go on autopilot. You can just press this button 3 times, bring this lamp off, press this button once, put this lamp back on, and then press the button twice, and then go to the other side of the platform. And so you really don't want your brain to go on autopilot there. I've had it where I just like am spam clicking in order to move the platform, and then I move it one too many times because my brain just went on autopilot. And so you want to be very cognizant about what you're doing. You don't want to do what I do by accident. Okay, actually a cutscene is coming up, and so I was going to fix my camera, but I realized that now is not the good time to do it. It's a bit tilted. So if you're just now tuning in and you see the death counter at 18, 10 of those didn't actually affect the run. 10 of those run, only 8 of those were unintentional deaths. So, thankfully, the run isn't as bad as it looks. So yeah, we're just gonna walk across here, and that's the end of the game, right? Like we're gonna go into that room, and we're gonna go into safety. There's nothing bad that could possibly happen right here and right now. We're totally not. This bridge is totally not gonna collapse, except it does, because otherwise there'd be no story. God.
You need to handle bridges with more finesse.
I also didn't fix my camera like I said I would. Okay, it's fine. But in this particular area, you do move a little bit slower, because the game is like, oh, you had a long fall, and so you're probably a bit hurt. However, you know, you just walk it off right here in this level transition, because right in level 32, you get speed up to normal speed again. Hello again, Ellen. So we try to push the limits of how far these photon connections can go in this particular level as well. We're going to put this photon crystal right here on this line on the floor. And then we're going to bring this photon crystal to the other side of this one. We're doing a bit of a safe strat by moving this one so that it creates more of a straight line across here, so that there's no real risk to have, there's no real risk to go about it, so the connection can't break. And right here is a good example of how platforms, or if you're good at rail grinding, you can, if you rail grind after stepping off of a moving platform, you can actually maintain some of the momentum that you get from the moving platform, and you can have a really speedy rail grind. Unfortunately, I didn't show it off as well as I could have, because I had to like click 3 times in order to pick up the lamp, or in order to pick up the orb, but thankfully, I still got to show it off to some extent. Right here is level 34. There is a lot of lore in this particular level. It is very important to the story, and if I remembered any of it, I would love to tell you right now. But I will warn you, there's a bit of a photosensitivity warning coming up. If you live east of the Atlantic, and it is 1 a.m. for you, like it is for me, I highly recommend looking away for a bit. I will tell you when it's safe to look back. but I'll also tell you when it starts. So after we press this button, there's going to be a giant. The entire screen is just going to turn white. So I recommend you look away. I will tell you when it's safe to look back. Also, I thought. Okay, here's my water. I was like looking around for this water during some of these cutscenes, and I just couldn't find it. But hydrate, people.
You are currently quadrupling that power.
This is pretty good. Anyway, so you can look back now if you took that soda sensitivity warning. And we, in this level, after we overloaded the core, we actually learned that shadows are not that scary. You can walk in the shadows as much as you want. It's only the shiny shadows that I like to call them, or the tar-like substances of these shadows that the game says will kill you, like these ones right here. And so we're just going to go straight into level 35, and if you look at the right side of the screen right here, I'm amazing at speaking today. I have no idea what's going on. You can actually see a particular reference to Portal one more time. This is the last reference to Portal that we're going to see in this run, is in this room. And if you look to your left, right, and if you look to your left right now, you probably saw a turret and also a weighted storage cube from the Portal series in this room. I always have to correct myself. I keep saying that it's like a companion cube. It's not a companion cube. There's no heart on it, and it's not pink. It is a weighted storage cube and a turret. So yeah, you gotta make sure that you have your accurate. I know Rebel Rose, a woman that I sometimes bring on commentary with me, she always corrects me, and she's a wonderful runner of this game as well. Shout out to her. So, with that being said, we're just going to go straight into level 36. And because, you know what, this isn't an amazing run by any means, I'm going to try and see if we can do level 36 skip. If I get level 36 skip within the first 3 tries, I am going to... oh, I forgot to bring the lamp on. If I get level 36 skip in 3 tries or less, I will donate $10 to No Kid Hungry. So, let's see if we have... Good luck with level 36 skip first. Alright, so the way level 36 skip works is that you just kind of rail grind across this particular area. Okay, let's try one. And there's a bit of a bump when you can get onto this platform at the end. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I don't know what causes the lip to work. We're going to try it one more time. And if we don't get it, we're just going to go straight into... okay, I felt like it was going to work there, but unfortunately we didn't get it. We don't know what causes you to actually, like, successfully do level 36 skip. For some reason, the orb, or for some reason, like, you can't jump when you grab an object, but sometimes you just push yourself onto the lip of the moving platform in order to finish the level without actually doing any of the puzzle solving. Unfortunately, we did not get level 36 skip, but it was fun to try nonetheless, and we're still not that bad of a run. So we're just gonna move this right here. We're gonna bring the mother source back over here onto our side, and then we're going to put this lamp right here. Then move the mother source back over to the other side. There's actually multiple ways you can solve this puzzle and the puzzle that precedes it, or the puzzle that proceeds it, I should say. And we're just gonna bring this lamp over here, get a bit of a beam of light with this photon crystal, and then walk back over here with the lamp. Then we're gonna go straight into level 37. So level 37 is actually a run. It's actually a pretty interesting level. Piano Keys is its name, and we get to first off bring this photon orb over here, so that we can cause this bridge to move to the other side. We're going to move this photon crystal, and we're going to put it right on this line on the floor right there. We're going to bring this lamp, we're going to have it shine onto this this sensor right here so we can keep the bridge over on the left side. I'm gonna bring this photon crystal and put it right here to make sure that the connection between these two photon crystals is not white, it is not red, it is pink. That is an important factor. And so we're just gonna bring this lamp across. We're gonna shine it onto here so we can get to it at the end of the level, and we're gonna take this photon crystal, we're gonna go to the edge of this bridge so that the connection is actually not present, and so the sensor isn't on, and so the sensor will not bring the sensor will not move the bridge to the other side. So yeah, that is the speed strat for this. There's a lot of really good casual solutions to this level, none of which I will do today, but maybe one day. But now we're just going to go to level 38, and we're going to do another retry and reset checkpoint strat, much like the one that we saw in level 30, in level 12. But right here, we actually do have to go into a bit of a 2-minute cutscene. Usually here's when I like to talk about how I got into this game. It was in AGDQ 2021, where a runner named Bobby Berm, who currently holds the 3rd place time for this game, where he ran this AGDQ, and I just fell in love with it immediately. It was the first one that I took seriously, and every single time that I run at a marathon, it really makes me, it really reminds you of how, like, why I got into speedrunning and how amazing this game is as a speedrun. So really, if you're interested, pick this up. I highly recommend it. And so, if this is a pretty long cutscene, but Ellen is just going to tell us that we need to overload the core in order to defeat Virgil and destroy Lightmatter Industries. But if the host has anything to say, any plugs or donations or anything that needs to be said, he can say it right now, Senpai. So yeah, this is going to be a pretty lengthy cutscene. So anything that needs to be plugged can be done now.
Whoever is looking into this, the core can't be shut down. It needs to be destroyed. Get to the control rooms surrounding the core and you'll be able to overload it. It will neutralize shadow anomalies everywhere.
If there's anything at all? I suppose not. But right here, one thing that we can do in this particular section is actually attempt to do a skip that is only theoretically possible. So essentially, you jump onto this plant, use it as a bit of height, and there's actually only a little bit of shadow in this room. And it's on top of this camera. And if you were to die on this camera, you can actually skip this entire cutscene. But it doesn't matter now because Ellen is done talking and the cutscene is over. So, we can just go straight into level 38. This is the actual biggest level of the game, and it is done on a series of cycles. And this is actually the level that's so big that it's not loaded in entirely. It is loaded in by chunks depending on where you are in the level. And so all of the cycles, all of the fast cycles that you get is entirely dependent on the chunks that you get. In which chunk you're on. And so if you lose one fast cycle, it doesn't necessarily mean you're going to lose the next one. If you lose and you know, that goes on with chunk by chunk. So we got the fast cycle for this first one. That doesn't mean that we're going to get the fast cycle for the next one, nor will it mean that we are going, but messing up the next one doesn't mean we're not going to get the one for the third one, if that makes any sense. So right here, we're just going to wait for this line to catch up. We're now in another chunk. And we did have pretty good movement when it comes to these particular cycles. These two cycles are actually are lined up here, and so you just want to make sure you get here before that light behind you turns off. And hopefully, with good enough movement, we did get the fast cycle for this lift. So I think we are going to, oh my goodness, so we didn't fully get onto that platform. We were just on the edge of that platform, and thankfully the game let us hold on to it ever so slightly so that we can still get that fast lift cycle. Let's see if we can get the fast cycle for these shadows right here. Ooh, we didn't. Okay, if I feel like if I had jumped a little bit earlier, I definitely would have gotten it, but alas, we did not get it. We did get it the second try though. And thankfully getting that fast cycle down here. Ah, okay. You do respawn over here. We're gonna play it safe and just keep it down here. We're barely missing some of these cycles. That is completely fine. And then we're just gonna go straight into the top cycles for these moving platforms. And a lot of the times we try to get as many like quote unquote fast cycles as we can, depending on our movement. But a lot of times there's only really one perfect cycle that you can get, one viable cycle that you can get without messing up in each particular section. Especially since, as I said before, these particular sections load in chunk by chunks. And I'm actually going to give a lot of photosensitivity warnings in this particular level because every time that we I'm not going to get the fast cycle now that I messed that up. Every time that we pull a lever, we're going to be overloading the core, and there's going to be a giant flash of light. So I will warn you every time that happens. So right here at level 38, Virgil is actually figuring out what we're doing, and he is actively trying to kill us by, you know, covering up light, making there be shadows. And he doesn't really succeed in doing so. It's pretty slow most of the time. Right here, we're just going to try to move on to these corners and avoid some of these ledge grab animations because ledge grab animations are slow. And now we're a spy. Our identity is never really confirmed throughout the entire game. At first we were just some tourists, and then we were a journalist, and then a health inspector, and then we're Virgil's assistant, and now we're a spy just because Virgil says that we are. And you know what? It's fine. And right here is another pretty good skip found by our glitch hunter Ralcor. Ralcor has found so much for this game. It is ridiculous, and he continues to do so to this day. He's one of the things that keeps his community alive, and so hopefully I'm not sure if we're gonna be able to get it. Oh, we were so close. Let's see if we can get it a second time. Actually, I think I need to press the button. No, okay, I was right. We're gonna see if we can get it a second time. This skip, we're just gonna jump up. Yes, we did get it the second time, thankfully. So you probably saw that we tried to jump across those pipes, and for whatever reason, the pipes at the very center do not have any death planes programmed onto them. Why that is, we'll never know. But we do take advantage of it. And here's a huge photosensitivity warning right now. Look away. There's going to be a giant flash of white light, especially if you're in a dark room and it's like 3 a.m. in the morning and you're just watching on your phone in your bed. Beautiful. Wonderful. Right here is the also worst attempt at a kill in video game history. So just, he was trying to kill us there. He definitely didn't succeed. In fact, he was not even close. So right here in this orangey yellowish light area, there actually is another really small skip. It's really more of an optimization, if anything. But right here, we're just going to try and go through here as fast as possible before the shadow closes up on us in this room. We're going to ledge grab onto that platform, which allows us to skip this section right there. And so we get, there are like 1 or 2 more fast cycles that we need to get with some of these lifts. For example, you don't want to jump too late during that one, otherwise you're going to get hit by a lift that is coming down and onto your head. And right here, we're going to hopefully get a fast cycle. There used to be a fast cycle that we thought saved time, but it was really inconsistent, and so we were just like trying to prove any way that it didn't save time, and thankfully we actually did prove that it doesn't save time based on the cycles that come later with the lifts that go up and down in this next section. So thankfully we can just, you know, take it a bit slow and go onto this lift instead. And there's just 2 more fast cycles that we need to get with these lifts. This first one is across this section, and we did get it. Hopefully we can get this next fast cycle here, and that'll be the last major skip of the run. And we did get it. Beautiful. And now here is the actual end of the run. This is going to be a 49-minute time because this cutscene is actually kind of long. But right here, as the lift is bringing us to the end, we see that the Mountain of a Man himself, James, is here to kill us. Here to shut everything down and have the shadow kill us. However, we realize that James actually is now fighting against Virgil, is having a mind of his own, and he is going to free us from Virgil's grasp, shutting down Lightmatter and everything that it stands for. So, right here, we're just going to walk across this particular section, and as soon as I hit that lever over there, that is time. Thank you so much to SpeedGaming for allowing me to show this game off for y'all. I am not done. We have 2 more games after this, but I hope that you really enjoyed this run. And the final time is going to be 3, 2, 1. 48. What? I'm hitting control. Why isn't the timer stopping? What? Okay. It was like 48:53. It's like 15 seconds off. I don't know why the timer didn't stop. I was hitting my my split key. I mean, obviously hotkeys are on to some extent, right? Yeah. Okay. I don't know. I guess it was just not cooperating. But thankfully, something was going on with the auto splitter at the beginning. Thankfully, that shouldn't happen with the rest of these runs. But with that being said, that is Lightmatter, any percent, no major glitches. Pretty good run, all things considered. I hope that you guys are enjoying my voice and my game so far, because I still have two more to go, if you can believe it. So yeah, that is enough from me in Lightmatter, any percent, no major glitches. Look it up on Steam. It's like $15 if I remember correctly. And yeah, it's a really good game, really underrated, both casually and as a speedrun. And so I highly recommend checking us out. Join the Discord. We are part of the developers Discord. You can join the Discord actually through the game, and there is a demo also. So yeah, I highly recommend checking all that out and stuff. So yeah, I hope you guys have a wonderful night, and stay tuned for my next 2 runs. We'll go to intermission and we'll be right back. Bye.